you now.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. First game of the season, we got our League of Legends team playing in the CLOL tournament. Now, this is a separate tournament from NECC. This one's from Riot themselves. So we're going to be in two different tournaments this semester. So it's going to be great. But yeah, starting off, we're going to see a Teemo ban right away. You know, Schlitten loves Teemo. Teemo one trick right here. So they're going ahead and get that out right away. As we see Ivern return ban from our Texans. Must be something they saw from drafting. Yeah, going into this one, I believe it's going to be a best of 3 today. This is against Texas League Academy White. Oh, and then there goes the Nasus ban. You already know that's for Gimmick. If you've seen our games the past few semesters, Gimmick loves that Nasus pick. Able to play it really well. Oh, and then the Malphite ban, you know, that champion right now, he's going to get nerfed next patch, so we probably won't have to see him too much longer, but currently, he is a menace. We're going to see a Corki ban, another solid ban, you know. Yeah, ADCs, a lot of these hyper carries can really just 1v9 games the most. We're going to see a Braum first pick, very strong support. A lot of melee supports right now are pretty well into the meta. We see Bjorddd, I know, but he's going to be playing today. So instead of hearing him, you're going to watch him play tonight. It's going to be amazing. We're going to love to see it. Instantly popping off with the Jax and Jarvan. You know, Jarvan, one of the strongest junglers right now. He's very consistent. You all probably saw him last semester. A lot of people like to play this guy. Ooh, okay, we're going to see the Smolder and Kled come out over on Texas League side. We're going to return that with a Mel. Mel, very nice into the Smolder. And even the Braum, since they do have both their ults are projectiles, Mel can just reflect that back. She is in a very strong spot at the moment. I mean, we saw what happened last semester with the Gimmick, how he could just almost carry a game completely with his Mel pick. We're going to see the last few bans coming out. Like they're going to go ahead and kind of counter the support over here by banning Janna and Swain. Swain's typically a mid laner, but with the new items in this new season, he can be played as support, as more of like an enchanter role. Oh, and then Yunara coming out. We're gonna have to see how that happens here. Ooh, okay, Diana, Orianna. So it looks like we're gonna be seeing a Kled top lane, Diana jungle, Orianna mid lane, and then Smolder Braum bot lane over on Texas White side. And then on our Texan side, we're going to have most likely Jax top, Jarvan jungle, Mel mid, and then Yunara Seraphine bot. Kind of how you see it already. They made that nice and easy for us. Starting off, I mean, in the bot lane, having double range into a melee matchup is always very strong. Especially Smolder, he's going to get poked down a lot early, which is exactly what you want to do into that champion. You just don't really want him to get too far ahead and stack too much. But with the new, again, there's going to be a lot of new things today. This is the first game of the season. There is an entire new league season. So a bunch of new items, bunch of new changes. There's no longer Otacon, no more flowers, no more feats of warfare. So you're going to be seeing a lot of new stuff today, especially for y'all that don't really play too much league, but are kind of just tuning in for the stream. I'll go ahead and give a little bit of rundown of some of that new stuff as we're loading into this game here. I think one of the visual changes that y'all will see is that these towers, they all have tower plates now. So they're all separated into like 5 health bars, and you get gold every time you destroy one, instead of just destroying the entire tower to get gold, which is how it used to be. Over time, they'll build up these crystals where once you hit them one time, it pops a big dopamine effect. You know, you're going to get a lot of damage onto the tower. This is really good for if you're not really able to hit the tower for a long time. It helps kind of bring you back in. So early leads kind of don't matter as much. Team fights are where it's at. Baron spawning at 20 minutes now. So you're going to see a lot of action just around these objectives. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what happens here. I will say, I do prefer our Texans team comp. Of course, not only are they our Texans, but I do like the Jackson to Kled. That his E is able to reflect all of his auto attacks, and Kled's a really big auto attack champion. And then, I mean, Gimmicks Mel speaks for itself. As I was talking about earlier, we've seen how destructive it can be. But on our Texan side, we do have two new players. It's our top and jungle. However, our top laner isn't very new to y'all. As I just kind of mentioned earlier, it is Bjorddd, the GOAT. So it's gonna be great to see his first game of the season. And then yeah, in the jungle we're gonna have Schlitten, and we're gonna have a little bit of a name change in our bot lane. It's no longer Vowel, however you want to say it. It's now Lublubu. So it's gonna be a fun new change. But some of the last, oh, I forgot to mention, some of the biggest changes this season are all the new items. There is so many new items, I don't even want to guess how many they got added in, but there's new items for every single role, every single type of champion. And so we're probably going to be seeing a lot of those new ones. So if y'all aren't familiar with some of the things they're building, um, that's probably why. Just brand new stuff. But as we see them, I'll try to call out what they are and everything. Hopefully it'll let us in here and try to reconnect. Well, lovely league client here, being a little difficult. Well, guys, just give us a moment. We're going to try to figure this out. Alrighty, sorry about that, guys. Thankfully, though, we should be back in here. It looks like we do have a black screen, so we're just going to keep on fixing it. Should be fixed here in a sec. We were able to get into the game finally. Had to go a background route. League client today is not very happy. Alright, I think we're finally chilling. Maybe not. Oof. Now I think it's the streaming aspect is not wanting to connect to the league screen. So we're just having to go back and forth. Should get this figured out. Just give us a second, guys. Alright. 6 minutes in, we're finally getting some gameplay. Looks like it is 3-1 so far. I don't really know why yet. But we do have Val roaming mid lane here. Yeah, we'll kind of just get back into the zone of this game and stabilize out a bit. So far, Texas Whiteside having 1K gold lead. Again, like I was kind of talking about though, these early leads don't matter too much, as there is plenty of chances for us to get more gold. Yeah, I think, sorry guys, it's kind of difficult right now. The Discord stream right now is a little laggy. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on. We're trying to fix that right now as well. 7. Alright, awesome. Okay, I think that is the last of the technical difficulties. We are finally through it all. As we see as Labubu going in deep in this bot lane fight, this 2v2, forcing the Smolder and Braum to back off, getting their sums out, not their flashes, but able to get their barrier and heal, while on our Texan side not having to use any. We're gonna have a little top lane scrapple coming along here. Looks like Pled's gonna back out after Jaxie's ult, going back in with his ult. We kind of view down bot side. We don't really see what's happening top. It looks like Bjordd's gonna be able to get out of that just fine. Right now, bot lanes are both similar HP, but Labubu and Val the Grand are gonna take a reset here, as Smolder and Braum do get their level 6. Braum might look for a roam here. We do see this first dragon has spawned. That's probably why our bot lane went ahead and backed here, is to try to get this early prio for this dragon. As you see, Gimmick kind of roaming around, trying to look for something as well. Everyone's really paying close attention to this bot side early on here. As you see, Diana is clearing her bot side, so we're probably going to have some sort of fight happen here soon. Yeah, in the meantime, Bjordd, they're having that 1v1. Nothing too crazy is going on. But we see Diana going in, using her ultimate. Okay, we're going to see the return ultimate from Schlitten going down, but Gimmick gets bursted and almost one-shot, as then Schlitten's going to fall as well. Labubu is here, trying to look for something. Looks like he's going to be forced to run away. That is a Braum ultimate coming out, forcing Labubu to flash away. Looks like it's going to stop there. So yeah, a good 2 for 0 on Texas White's side. The Gimmick does have the TP. However, it looks like they might just go ahead and give this dragon, since they already did lose 2 people. Don't want to lose any more. Val's just gonna go ahead and stick in the bot lane. Trying not to rotate there. Yeah, Diana go ahead and takes the first dragon of the game. Looks like J4 might try to trade just by getting the grubbies. Okay, it looks like Texas Whiteside's gonna go ahead and lapse onto the grubbies instead. Diana walking straight from dragon up there. Probably solve their crossover mid lane, but it looks like they are aware of it since they do have a ward. For now, we're just having a 2v2 going on in the bot lane here. The Gimmick's gonna try to come up. Looks like we're gonna get the camera pin. Yep. Up to this top side. Diana did able to secure all 3 grubbies. So far, 2 objectives to 0. And a couple gold up. But you know, alright, she's one of those champions, and same with Mel, where whenever they get items, they can do a lot of damage. So Tarleton not really trying to force too many more fights early on, especially after losing that 2 for 0. Just trying to recuperate and get some gold back up. Bjordd's gonna fight this, trying to push in his wave here. So far, it looks like all these trades in the top side have been going pretty even. Just kind of doing the same damage back and forth. Ooh, okay, he got the dismount. He's going in. That's Klett's flash. Do we see this? A solo kill by Bjorddd. Amazing play. I mean, that's what you want to see right there whenever, you know, you're down a couple kills on your team, your top laner is able to get that solo kill and push an entire wave in. Possibly even get a tower plate. Well, looks like bot lane does not know that Diana's ganking here. Looks like we might just try to take the 1-for-1. However, Lulu's gonna fall without being able to get the Braum. They're gonna use some ultimates. Orianna has now rotated down bot lane, trying to help secure any more. Gimmicks here as well. Gonna go ahead and chunk them out a little. Looks like they're going back in here. They don't know she's in the bush. Gimmick not aware. He's gonna fall to the Diana. They didn't have vision in that pixel brush, and that just allowed Diana to get a really good engage on the Gimmick there. So far, it just seems like a lot of misplays happening on the bot side of the map. So they're all able to cancel Diana's back. Should help them with their tempo a little bit. Right now, at this point, you probably just want to see your Texans trying to play towards this top side, playing around this Jax, now that he does have a little bit of a lead. That's kind of how League goes right now. You kind of want to hover one side of the map, either get your ADC a lot of items, or get your top laner a lot of levels. I will say that's one of the biggest changes that I forgot to mention as well, is all these new quests. So every role in the game now has their own unique little mission that they're trying to do, and they get rewarded whenever they finish. Before I finish that though, we're going to see another 1v1 happening in the top lane. Bjorddd just pushing out. It looks like Orianna is ganking top, but you know, Jax is just able to jump away. One reason why he's a very loved champion, just kind of survive those ganks just like that. Oh, however, Bjorddd may not be able to survive this, as he's about to get triple dove here. He pops out the E, gets the stun out. Does he? Oh, it looks like Orianna ended up taking the tower damage. So Kled was just able to stay alive. Very rough death for Bjorddd there. Almost survived and outplayed that dive, but what can you do when you have 3 of them all on you? As I was talking about the quest, top lane, you'll see whenever they finish theirs, they're going to get increased XP, as well as their new level cap is 20. So you're going to see the top laners be above everyone else in XP. Mid lane, they're going to have like a permanent Baron recall. So they're going to do really fast recalls, and it's going to be purple. It looks just like the Baron buff, but that is just their quest. They also get tier 3 boots. Kind of the same boots you get from doing the Feats of Warfare last year. In the jungle, you now get a 1400 smite instead of 1200. So it's way harder to steal objectives. Jungle smites are way stronger now. And then for ADC, you get your boots go into like a new slot. Before I finish that, looks like we're gonna have a fight break out here. Schlitten trying to get away. However, he just cannot escape from that Braum and Diana. Looks like Gimmick's gonna get caught as well. So far, it just seems like Texas White's team is rotating really good together, while the Texans are just split off here. Bjorddd going for the 1v1. Oh, gets out at least. However, Klud's able to get the remount, forcing him to run away. Looks like things are calming down for a little bit. So the last two quests that we have is the ADC. Like I was saying, the boots go into like a different inventory slot, so you're able to get an additional item, as well as they gain additional gold whenever they kill minions. And then support lane, the support role, you get to have control wards in that slot, so that's nice. Looks like Diana's gonna gank again. Oh, looking rough there, just getting instantly bursted. This Diana pick is so far doing a lot for their team, as her ult is just doing so much damage and winning a lot of these side lane fights. She's now developed a 3-level lead, which is definitely going to keep her in a really oppressive state. Tarleton just really has to figure out how to slow this game down and be able to scale a little bit here and get some items on their carries. As even though Texas White's team are very strong, they do have a lot of spells that can be reflected by Gimmick. So one Gimmick W can completely turn a fight, and we're just going to see that happen. Same as Jax. Jax will be able to beat the Diana eventually in a 1v1 scenario, so we're going to have to see how these later team fights play out. But so far, it's looking like a lot of people just need to... We need to group up a little bit more, since that's what Texas White's doing really good at here. Looks like they're going to go ahead and trade the Herald with a bot lane play here. Looks like Schlitten and Gimmick are kind of hovering down the spot side, maybe trying to force Smolder off this tower, get a free tower, claim a tower bounty. Like Smolder's barely taken down. Lubu is chasing him as another fight's breaking out in top lane. Ooh, forcing the Smolder flash. Looks like we're going to commit a lot of spells here, but we do get a shutdown. That is a 520 gold shutdown. It's almost 800 gold going towards Mel. Very massive. As you see Diana here looking to try and cut off their retreat. Schlitten's going to fall. We do see the Val ultimate coming out. Schlitten's still alive somehow. They do take the Braum. It looks like they're going to go ahead and fall here. But however, they do end up getting 2 kills. Mel getting another shutdown on that Braum, so Mel definitely back in the game here. And Val does end up living too, so I mean, a 2 for 3 in this scenario and getting a tower bounty, definitely worth it, as they did get the more gold off that play in the end. Oh, okay, we're gonna see the Kled ult come out. Bjorddd uses his E, but it's not enough. Kled is just going to be able to kill him and escape. The shield from his ultimate provide him enough to lift from that tower. It's like J4 might try to... looks like he's going to not notice him, just sneak out. As you see right there, yeah, Orianna has that Baron recall from her quest. Looks like we're going to get some lane swaps now. Ooh, okay. Lububu so far having some good damage there. Does have the Kraken Slayer. Was able to 1v1 the Smolder. However, Smolder's never really going to be alone. Looks like Kled is chasing Schlitten here. Schlitten's able to get out. However, he's going to be forced away from all of his jungle camps, so that's going to be pretty rough. Looks like we did commit the TP from Bjorddd here. Going in. Trying to look for something. However, Orianna is going to follow it up with a TP of her own. Gimmick uses his ult. He is caught by the Orianna. He's trying to get out. Will he be able to get out? Okay, they do get the Diana. Another big shutdown going onto this Mel. However, Orianna does send the flash forward, gets 2 kills. Val's ult does not go through. Bjorddd flashing, or just jumping in, where nothing comes of it. That's going to be a 4-for-1 trade. They do get 1,000 gold bounty. However, they do end up losing a lot of their members and a tier 2 tower as well. Let's go and see. Can we get a tab check? Go and press tab. It should pop up the items here. Won't be able to do it right now, but Gimmick should be pretty far ahead in at the moment. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we go ahead and see he does have 2.5 items, has more gold than Orianna, even though he was pretty far behind. Ooh, Val's gonna get soul ulted by the Orianna. Falls. Shillin's gonna fall as well. Tarleton just is not ready for that fight yet. It looks like they're gonna end up losing a lot of their members here, allowing Texas White to be able to get a drag for free. Right now, looks like going back to a little farming while Texas White gets a dragon. Like we're just checking out the settings here for a moment. Right now, just going back to the farming part, we didn't see the Braum. Like he's gonna back out here. Now I do not know, I do not have confirmation just yet. This might still be fearless. We will learn by next game if it is or isn't. But we saw that while last year. Okay, Val coming out with an ultimate. I mean, that's just a free pick on Smolder. A shutdown going towards Mel. I mean, random picks like that are the only things you can hope for at this point in the game, and hopefully get enough of those where you're able to do something with it. Of course, getting all their gold on the Mel though is already going to be pretty good. Okay, Lububu going in on Orianna. This could be a huge pick. Oh, that's a huge shutdown on the Orianna. Of course, at this Baron fight too, if they're able to kill this Diana without losing too many members, they should be able to do Baron themselves. Looks like they're just trying to live. She's almost in execute range for the Mel. There we go. Amazing team fight by our Texans right there, able to find the picks needed. Looks like they're looking for more. They do get him off his mount. He isn't able to remount. Bjorddd lives that too, even though Clegg committed the ignite. Looks like Labubu's just trying to go for this Braum here, just get all the kills they can. No longer be able to do the Baron since Smolder has respawned and the other respawns are getting close as well. But I mean, claiming so many shutdowns as you see in chat right there. So many, like what, a 1k, 500, 500 shutdowns, especially onto your Mel and your Nara. That's almost like the perfect dream scenario in this situation. But as we kind of go back into it, it looks like Texas White's now going to be a little afraid to kind of play around this Baron pit now. Don't want to repeat that same mistake. Yeah, really good fight right there. Just able to get a pick and go from there. That's what I was talking about earlier. Like, if you can just get a solo pick like that, then plays like that are possible, and they can really just turn the game around. As it stands, Diana's still keeping her 3-level lead. Now a 4-level lead, very strong. Looks like they are looking to do Baron. However, Tarleton is not aware of it at all. So they might just be able to sneak it for free here. Only position enough to make it in time. At this point too, although Baron's really strong, towers are really tanky nowadays, especially with all the new changes. So even when you get Baron, it's not enough to end the game sometimes. One of the most important objectives these days is Elder Dragon, and it's only spawns after you get the Dragon Soul. So we might see that soon here unless Tarleton's able to secure this dragon. Okay, we're going to see the Jarvan commit flash onto the Orianna. Schlitten going in. Looks like he is having to back out. He barely lives. Ooh, close kill right there. However, he does live and makes it out. Kled is going to keep pushing top. As we see Jax go in, that is now Diana and Orianna flash. Orianna did base. She is able to TP back here. Kled in the meantime just going to take the top inhib and forcing Tarleton to back out to be able to stop him from taking any more towers. Looks like they're going to commit a double TP into the base. Definitely just trying to split up Tarleton. That is their best chance. However, Tarleton's here ready. Ooh, Bjorddd is able to cancel the Kled ult and stop him from getting away. Looks like Gimmick's going to go ahead and flash. And they end up getting the Kled. Looks like they're still kind of looking around this top lane play here. They should be able to reset and try to look for bot lane instead. Bjordd's going to stay up top and just kind of 1v1 the Orianna. Yeah, Texas White going back out. I mean, they did manage to pick up 2 towers in the inhib. However, Kled does fall. Good jump by Bjordd there, just canceling that Kled ult. I mean, that's what, like, if you're playing against a Kled or a Scion, those champions that have those getaways, you really have to just stand in front of them sometimes to deny that exit. Looks like Tarleton's trying to wiggle their way in here. However, he just can't group up in time. Gimmick's going to kind of retreat, but trying to poke on his way out. You now see Texas White come into the mid lane. They still have that Baron buff on most of their members. They're going to go and get some fast recalls in. Or if they look for a fight soon, Orianna and Diana, you know, and Kled as well, they all used flash in that recent encounter. Tarleton may want to try and press that to their advantage. Looking towards this mid lane play right now. They're probably just going to have to give this tower for free. Just trying to wait out this Baron timer. Trying to poke as much as possible. There is some pretty decent poke though. I mean, we see a lot of Texas White members already getting chunked, like Diana's half, same with Kled. They might just try to do a reset after that inhib. But poor Schlitten here, he hasn't really been able to clear his jungle in quite some time. Ever since those towers fell, they've just been perma invading his camps as soon as they respawn. I mean, the one positive with inhibs that are down though, you do get those siege minions, so they're all 90 gold, and you get pretty strong fast unless they can really press the advantage on you. Looks like they are sieging for this final tower here. Doing a lot of damage. Kled is chunked. Seraphine ult does come out. It does hit 3. As they go in, they take down the Kled. They're looking towards the Braum. Orianna hits a massive 3-person ult. With the Smolder execute, it just deletes them all. Well, it looks like they do end up falling 1 for 4. We'll have to see if they're able to end it here. I mean, death timers are long enough. And that Orianna combo just really turned that team fight all around. Initially looking like a good start, especially with the Seraphine 3-man ultimate. However, it's not enough. Val dies, but he does take the Diana down with him. However, it does look like Texas White will take game 1 in this series. But, you know, there's best of 3. We'll have to see what comes out of game 2. And we'll also be able to see if it's fearless or not. But we'll see you guys whenever it starts next.
you're offering. Phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Yeah, my phone's lighting up, but I'm just gonna let it ring. Is it the liquor in my system? My desire's not so real. Got me caught up in this rhythm. Draw me in and make it feel. Draw me in and make it feel. Draw me in and make it feel.
sit this one out.
Welcome back, guys. Coming in for game 2. Now, to confirm, it is Fearless Draft, so all those champions played in that first game are now banned as well. So that's going to be very exciting to see. We're going to see a bunch of champions come out. I was looking at chat, and yes, Bjorddd is now the new top laner. Same with Schlitten in the jungle. And then, yeah, Lil Boo Boo was Mascara, but they did name change. So those are the changes to the roster. Yeah, coming in here, kind of seeing the same bands, the Corki, Ivor, and Malphite. We saw that before. Same with the Nasus. Looks like both teams are pretty comfortable with those bands. Not really want to change it up. Game's going to be pretty good to see. This is a best of 3, so if Texans do win this one, we will go to a game 3. Those are always very exciting to watch. A lot on the line. It looks like we're going to keep out banning out that Teemo. They're worried about that Schlitten Teemo jungle. Man has perfected his craft. The enemy will respect it. Keep banning it out. Instantly, we're going to see the Yone top. I mean, if y'all know Bjorddd, this is a specialty pick of his. He does love his Yone gameplay. It's going to be followed up with the Darius Misfortune. Darius, I'm not 100% sure how that matchup goes, but I can't imagine it is like in the laning phase. It can't be that fun to play against. Darius is such a lane bully with his passive bleed, just being able to poke you down. But yeah, we're going to see the Mumu Victor come out. Overall, pretty strong combo. A lot of CC we're already seeing. So far, Texans, they have CC on every single champion. Just kind of looking to stop what the enemy's going to do. Looks like, yeah, Texas White's going to have their own idea here as well. Wukong Misfortune, both their ultimates together can be a very deadly combo. However, if you're able to stop it with your Mumu or Victor, then it'll just be able to, yeah, stop their combo and allow you to really take advantage of that situation. See the last bit of bans coming out here. Looks like everyone's kind of targeting the support role in the end here. You're going to get rid of Lulu, Nautilus, Leona. And let's see what Val bans here. And Nami. Oh, yeah. So they really just wanted to target out supports. Not too worried about ADCs at this point. We see Renata come out. So far, Renata really wanted to heavy auto attack champions. The Mumu Victor definitely are the opposite of that, so they should be good into that. Okay, we're gonna get the last 2 picks on Texan side are gonna be Tristana and Morgana. That's gonna be a pretty strong bot lane if Morgana is able to land these Qs. You know, if Val locks in here and starts hitting skill shots, then Tristana will definitely be able to benefit from that and pop off. And we see the last pick, Rise. If you've been watching a lot of pro play, Rise is very popular, very loved champion right now, especially with the new items. They benefit him really well. But typically the Victor Rise matchup, big farm snooze fest. So we're just going to have to kind of see what happens. Yeah, we do. It's going to be a very exciting game. Bjorddd debating on his debating English, yes, on his Yone out here, gonna pop off. Compared to last game, I mean, Bjorddd was one of the strongest links in last game, so we're gonna have to kind of see if that follows through with this game or not. Yone, if he does get ahead, he definitely can pursue an advantage a lot harder than Jax could. So definitely giving Bjorddd a skilled champion to put into his hands to kind of see what he does with it. Yeah, looks like we're gonna kind of go through the spectator delay. Hopefully, client is nicer to us this time. If not, we did kind of figure it out how to make it work last time. So if need to, we'll be able to do that. So, okay, yeah, we just have the spectator delay. Whew. You never know with that when it's stuck on that 0 seconds. You got to debate whether it's gonna go through or not, and it gets scary. But looks like we are good at this moment. Hopefully, in the next 2 minutes, we'll be big chillin'. But yeah, kind of like what I said earlier on in the draft, Tarleton, they have a lot of CC here. I mean, they just got reinforced more with the Morgana. even Tristana having that knockaway, which is going to be really strong into that Wukong, or even if a Ryze ults in, having that Tristana ult to kind of be like, get away from me, back them out is always very strong. And then you have plenty of CC to cancel Misfortune ultimate, as well as just kind of lock down the enemy team. So that's like one of the biggest issues is Ryze normally takes Phase Rush, or Darius will even take Phase Rush sometimes, to have that quick movement speed to kind of run laps around your team. But if you're able to lock him down with hard CC, which Tarleton does have, can definitely help, lock down and get kills. I haven't really seen Renata yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. There's plenty of new support items. However, she just is still kind of a niche champion, so you don't see her too often. But hopefully, with the Morgana Black Shield, Tristana shouldn't be getting ulted and killing her entire team this game. We can only hope, though. As we come down these last 30 seconds, going in. But, this is what Fearless is all about. Denying all these champions from previous games. If we do go to a game 3, you're going to have all these champions as well get banned. It's going to really make people dig deep into their champion pools and possibly even play things for the first time. But so far, looks like some solid picks on both teams. Probably champions everyone's comfortable with, as these champions are pretty, you can do pretty commonly. So they should be all warmed up and ready to go. Yeah, so looks like, just give us a second, we're going to have to fix this issue, and we'll should be able to get in way faster than last time, so just give us a few minutes here, guys. All right, awesome. Yeah, so right-clicking is apparently just better than being in the actual lobby. So, a wonderful League client, but at least we're actually able to spectate the game. That's all we can ask for. So yeah, going into game 1, we have the 5 players on each team in here. Everyone's kind of going to typical start. Another big change. I've been playing League for the past few weeks, so all this kind of seems normal to me now. But for those watching, you are not crazy. Minions do spawn way faster now. They spawn at 30 seconds instead of like a minute 30. So they really cut down a lot of time on the game at the very start. So invades, you just don't really see those anymore. As if you do invade, minions will most likely already be in your lane, and you almost lose out on a bunch of minions. So want more common, just kind of go straight to your lanes. So we see Bjorddd having an early fight with Darius. Darius did take his W. He did proc the Ghost, is looking to fight, but Bjorddd already forcing him to run away. Darius has to use that Ghost to get out. Bjorddd gonna zone him off of the minions, hitting all of his Qs so far. He does have his lethal tempo proc, forcing Darius flash. Bjorddd should be able to catch up to him here. First blood! Instantly in the game, Darius, he went into that bush looking for a fight, and he got one. And Bjorddd just sends him back to home base. I mean, that's what I was talking about in loading screen, giving Bjorddd a mechanical champion is definitely the play after, last game, be able to see him win that 1v1. But yeah, a great start already. Especially, like I was saying, Darius is such a lane bully, but if you're able to stunt him early, it'll definitely be really beneficial. Looks like Gimmick in the mid lane has stacked up a massive wave, crashing that under tower. All the junglers are just kind of farming. We see a Mumu pathing down while Wukong is pathing up. So Bjordd's going to have to be really careful since he doesn't have flash anymore of these Wukong ganks, because his lead can very well go away just by dying to this Wukong. He doesn't have TP either, so death does mean a lot. Ooh, Gimmick got his happy feet in the mid lane, kind of poking down this Ryze, winning that battle. So far, Soul Laner is definitely looking a lot better in this game than last. Looks like bot lane took a quick back there, quick little recall. He got the London build, 2 daggers. Val is just holding it down in the bot lane. Must have got chunked down during that Bjorddd fight earlier on.
Okay.
Yeah, Bjorddd has came back to lane now with full HP, but Wukong is topside. Thankfully, his minions are crashed, so he should just be able to farm those, but we're now just kind of looking at the bot side. Well, it looks like he's going to go ahead and go for the fight. Doesn't know Wukong is there, but I don't think Wukong will really intervene as he wants to get that Scuttle Crab. Overall, decent trade. Ooh, okay, early gank coming down from Schlitten. Morgana did hit the Q. Should be... Oh, okay. He goes for the kill, flashes for it. Forced to flash after Schlitten misses his Q, but it's alright as Val hits a really good Morgana Q. Just securing that damage long enough so Renata just can't get away. Tristana is a champion that loves early kills as she can do a lot with the boost. Ooh, looks like Schlitten isn't aware that Wukong's in that bush. Oh, Wukong ends up going ahead and go for the smite and stealing the Scuttle Crab. Labubu forced it back here. However, he's definitely happy after getting a kill. Well, looks like he might stay for a little bit. Does pop the potion. Schlitten on his first back, gun in his Faded Ashes. Good damage item. Helps with your jungle clear. Already though, having that early gank difference is going to help. I mean, we saw Diana doing it last game. Is what really helped her bot lane, so Schlitten being able to gank first here definitely helps out a lot. Looks like Lubu realizes that he just can't stay. You have to be really afraid of the Renata and the Misfortune. Yeah, just kind of going back to farming everywhere else. Looks like the top laners did get a reset while we were looking at bot lane there. Nothing too crazy yet. Bjorddd has a lot of attack speed. Looking for these combos. I mean, oh, look at that trade! Takes like barely any damage and sends Darius back to his tower with half HP. Looks like Darius is actually going to go ahead and have to retreat after that, which should allow Bjorddd to be able to get maybe a tower plate even. We'll just have to see how greedy he wants to be here. See now Schlitten just in the jungle. Farming away. As everyone is kind of just now settling down. It looks like Bjorddd was able to go ahead and get that top tower plate. Definitely happy with that back he got here. Ooh, solo kill mid lane. Love to see it. Already looking a lot better for Tarleton in a 3-0 position on a scaling comp as well. I'd say that Texas White team, they really want to try and get ahead early, as that's what Misfortune and Wukong and Darius kind of feed off of, is getting a strong lead. Looks like this should allow Tarleton to be able to set up for their first dragon here. However, Texas White is not going to give it for free. They are looking to contest, but Val does hit a good Q, followed up by Victor W that stuns the two of them, which allows Tarleton just to be able to keep running them down. Looks like they're just going to keep playing for more kills. Another Val Q. 3 of them now this game that have connected, that have came and that just gave kills. Val is hitting all the Qs that matter right now. It looks like Labubu's just going in, not letting this Misfortune catch a break. Overall, you know, 1 for 2 there. Very good, especially when you're getting them into the hands of Labubu. Just going to get very strong. Oh yeah, gets a BF sword on his back. Now he's going to do a lot of damage, at least compared to the enemy team here. One downside though, it looks like mid lane was able to get some CS, a little CS lead and a tower plate. And now that Amumu is topside, looks like Texas White are going to go and finish that dragon that they initially wanted. Wukong does get his level 6. Looks like everyone's kind of getting there at the moment. They don't have any wards down on the dragon, so Tarleton probably doesn't even know that they instantly went to it. Looks like we're just kind of having a battle here top lane. Bjorddd looking to just trade a little bit. He does have a Vampiric Scepter, so he's able to recuperate a little bit after these Darius engages. Yeah, everyone's just kind of... Those are the crystals I was talking about earlier. Whenever someone hits those, does big damage. A lot of damage to towers, get you some gold. They do stack up, but they do max out. Okay, Val hits a Q, which is going to allow Labubu to jump in and just chunk down that Misfortune. She's going to be forced to reset surely after that. Which is very scary into Tristana's because they love to take towers. Looks like Darius kind of got lost, went down mid lane, and Gimmick just said hi and kind of left. There's going to be some big damage on the bot tower. Looks like Bjorddd is not going to let Darius just enter lane free. After missing the Q though, definitely just backs out and replans for his next play. It looks like Rise is going to have to back here soon too, as Gimmick has been putting the pressure on him. Now Grubbies are up right now. Wukong is on the top side while Schlitten is down below. That is the one negative about pathing top down, is normally on this first grub spawn you're not up there. However, if Wukong doesn't do them, then you're in just a good spot. As we see, there's pretty similar CS across the board. Not really too much of a lead with anyone. Everyone's kind of staying close. That's why these kills are very important. As you see, Tarleton's up in 1K, probably just from a lot of these tower plates and kills like I mentioned. So definitely these early plays have led them to have a decent lead, as now Tristana has gotten their first item. Normally whenever you have the spike, you can even see Schlitten is kind of coming down for this gank. They're going to give up these grubs, but knowing Tristana has an item and Amumu has ult, they just want to look for a play down here. I think they might have saw Amumu with that ward and they don't know there's a ward there. Yeah, they do see him. Looks like top lane there was some plays happening. It looks like Wukong and Darius are both up there. Darius is proxying even, just trying to stop Bjorddd from really fighting them. The Gimmicks can kind of see Wukong in the jungle, so they do know he is topside. Mumu knowing that they were spotted, looks like they're going to go ahead and back out. During all that, Wukong was able to pick up the grubbies. So again, Tarleton down 0-2 in objectives. Not expecting Texas White to do them on Smallin. But definitely when you're in a lead like this, you don't necessarily have to force these objectives, as you just want to keep your lead and keep that going. Looks like Bjorddd is going to go ahead and go Orc first item. Very strong in the side lane. Should be able to 1v1 Darius with that as well. He actually might have it here as he's resetting. Wukong is bot side. They are aware of it with the ward. Wukong is one of those ADCs though where ganks aren't as crucial, as you can kind of W away and get out of there. However, if you do use it beforehand and get caught with your pants down, you know, it's quite unfortunate. Looks like Gimmick is getting ganked mid lane, forced to flash right after he TP'd back. Wukong sends the full ultimate. However, Gimmick is just going to chase him down, possibly looking... It looks like Schlitten is coming for the counter gank. Mumu does have a second Q. Oh, it's going to force the Rise flash. So overall, and looks like during all that top lane, they had their battle of their own, as both the top laners used their flash and Darius used Ghost. So it probably looked like Darius initiated the fight and Bjorddd had to get out of there. But definitely a good position, as now Bjorddd should be able to run down the Darius if need be. The Gimmick playing this lane a lot safer. He had a lot of early deaths last game, but this time he's playing a lot slower, a lot further back, allowing him to live. It looks like Val uses his flash and ultimate, while Misfortune is followed up to use her flash as well. Bjorddd just playing safe until he can get his item. He knows once he has that, he'll be able to win any fight. Well, looks like he is going to lose this 1v1 though. Not strong enough yet. That's the power of the Darius right there. Just this, if he gets those stacked up lead, can't do much. But Bjorddd go ahead and finishes his first item. Now he'll have a lot better chance. But this next dragon has spawned. Tarleton's in a little bit of a rough position as all of Amumu's camps are up on the top side. But we've seen this happen before where Amumu's on the wrong side of the map and they're just able to claim the objective. Ooh, Misfortune overstays her welcome. And Labubu takes her out. Some good action there after a while. As Schlitten's ganking top, sends out the Q. Might just be able to solo the Darius, but it looks like he's going to try to give the kill to Bjorddd there. That's how you help out your solo laners. Going to give him some free kills. Looks like Texas White, they see the Amumu top, so they want to respond by trying to full stun the dragon right now before he can cross over. Looks like Wukong is going to try and gank this bot lane here. Labubu doesn't have much mana at all. However, looks like Renata's going to get caught. And looks like Ryze is going to try to stop him here. Oh, he jumps right over into the Wukong. Gimmick there, though. Looks like he won't be able to make it out, as they're going to fall 2 for 1. Ryze just being there a little bit earlier, and of course Labubu just not having the mana to W away. Looks like they go ahead and secure their second dragon of the game here. Tarleton still has a slight gold lead though. Slowly diminishing at this point after those towers fell though. Now actually evened up. But right now, Tarleton, they have all their gold on their carries, and that's the important part. Amumu and Morgana haven't taken any yet, and they put almost everything onto Labubu. Hopefully be able to carry this game here. But we do see Renata roaming, and this is gonna... Val's gonna match the roam here by roaming up for this Herald. Now, last fight, they didn't have Schlitten, so he may be the difference they need with the CC Amumu brings to the table. Ooh, Misfortune again, just walking too far up. And Labubu and Gimmick are just able to secure that kill. And Schlitten wants to continue on this rampage by following this Renata. Use the ultimate. Val hits another Q. He's just landing all these skill shots right now. And it forces the Wukong to flash away. There should be a free Herald for Tarleton, getting their first objective of the game. They're all very good picks. This game, Tarleton just has a lot more freedom to do what they want, and they're doing whatever they need to and just getting all these picks for free. It looks like they are going to pick the Herald. Almost forgot it. Labubu is just now going to push mid lane as Wukong is just going to counter invade Amumu. But thankfully Amumu is one of those champions where you kind of don't need all the farm. Looks like Gimmick is going to come up for this Darius play. Darius used Ghost, but he just can't even move. First, Bjorddd hits him with the ultimate, and then he gets stunned by the Victor W. I mean, we're kind of seeing these combos come into play. We saw it at the first drag fight as well before they did the dragon, where Morgana Q lasts long enough where Victor W can proc right afterwards, stunning them again, almost having a perma CC chain. If the Tarleton can continue these combos, they're going to be definitely a good spot in these team fights. But yeah, getting a top tower and then go ahead and crashing Herald again to get even more plates. Looks like there's going to be a fight down here. Looks like Schlitten might be caught. Val's trying to escape. Looks like Labubu might be able to pick up the Wukong. He is able to kill him unless he gets killed. Yep, he finishes off the Wukong and gets out in time. Gimmick's gonna come back down bot lane, uses his ult, forcing the Ryze to ghost away. Although not the best trade, losing 2 for 1, just the fact you're still putting more kills onto Labubu here, hyper accelerating the Tristana to be extremely fed and have plenty of items. As you can see, Tristana has already gotten an Infinity Edge over the Misfortune. Definitely going to allow him to do a lot more damage. Now, he does have boots. It's just, it doesn't show up on the tab right now because they haven't adjusted that yet. But like I was talking about, his quest, his boots go into like a separate 7th slot. So he has them. They're just invisible. So he does have a pretty decent gold lead, though, beating up an entire item, while Misfortune just has some components. You can see they're being really passive here. They know that someone might be looking, as we see Rise is kind of hovering around, waiting to ult in. So as Wukong was just looking towards top side. But looking at CS again, everyone's looking fairly even, except for in the jungle role. Looks like Wukong has been able to build up a decent lead after being able to steal Mumu's jungle whenever he tries to gank. But definitely a lot better position than last game. Everyone is in here. We're just kind of building up their next item. Tristana's already going for her LDR. It's going to be very strong. Bjorddd fighting this Darius. To see with that Bork, he's just able to lay down a bunch of damage, making it very hard for Darius to even fight back at this point. It looks like Texas White is starting to group up here. Renata's just trying to follow this Wukong. Wherever he goes, they'll go. Trying to match that. Tarleton does have vision of this. See everyone, they put down some wards. They know the Wukong is there. Looks like everyone's trying to set up for this next dragon spawn. Tarleton definitely wanting to fight it, as they do have a sizable gold lead right now, especially on Labubu. They are Texas White is split right now. Wukong and Renata separated from the team. Schlitten going in, forcing Renata to flash away, as Labubu is just hovering on the top side, forcing them off. Looks like Bjorddd looking to go in, knocks up the Darius. Darius uses his E, so that allows Labubu to go in. A lot of damage coming out here. The Misfortune ultimate, they weren't able to do anything about it, killing Val and Schlitten, and that leaves Bjorddd all alone. Tarleton falls apart there. They looked like they had a good engage, but Texas White is just able to rock up with that Misfortune R, just laying down damage. We're in Tarleton's end. Gimmick and Labubu are up.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Being careful not to lose any more members here, as that does now even the gold difference. Actually gives Texas White a little bit of a lead after that fight, losing the dragon. Big thing is Tristana needs reset so she can keep jumping around, but Darius was able to flash out of the Yonar, so he was able to live for too long, and Tarleton just fell apart in the meantime. Everyone's just kind of going back to farming now. Darius already building Randall's Omen, just trying to build anti-crit for the Yon and Tristana. However, I think he's going to be decently surprised of this damage coming from Victor, as he does have 2.5 items now, looking for his third. Whenever he scales up, that Victor will start hitting heavy. As you can see right now, Tristana level 12, why Rise is 15 and Darius is 14. That's just the power of solo XP. Even though he does have a lot of kills and a lot of gold, he just doesn't have the XP to match it, since he has been in a dual lane all game. Right now it's a 4v4 scenario. Gimmick staying bot. Oh, Schlitten does hit a Q, looking to go deeper. Misses his next one. Yon sends the R. Looks like it's going to take us away, looking down at this bot fight with Gimmick and the Darius. Looks like we're back here at the top. Looks like nothing crazy ended up happening. Gimmick gets a solo kill. We missed the camera just going back and forth, but yeah, Gimmick's able to pick one up, able to take out the Darius. Oh, it looks like Bjorddd steps up too far and the Rise is able to pick him off. Wukong now looking to go for Val as well, taking out 2 of them. Gimmick able to make a good play happen bot, but then they end up getting caught on the top side. It looks like Schlitten gets picked up as well. They might be able to do Baron now. And Gimmick doesn't have ult, so he doesn't have that big AoE damage. He's going to play this fight very slowly and carefully. if they are able to poke them out, though, Baron does hurt a lot more and is fairly more tanky. It looks like they're trying to bait them away from this Baron. Looks like, ooh, good ult by Labubu there. Rice flashes in on him, but he's able to knock him back. However, it's not enough, as they just don't have the members to compete with 5 of them. And you might be wondering how Darius TP down there. That's one of the benefits I forgot to mention about the quest of top lane. They all get a free teleport now. So Darius is able to use that to get there, to help secure that Baron. So far, this game is looking really close. All these are just coming down to team fights. I feel like if Tarleton can just get their combos that they want, it'll be really good for them. And if they can just one-shot that Misfortune, they should be able to win these fights. However, currently, with the Baron buff, Texas White is just sieging in their towers, taking what they can. Everyone else is kind of going back to farming. A big thing is Tristana really needs this LDR before the next fight, as they are pretty tanky now, as that Wukong and Darius have just built a lot of tank and bruiser items in order to really shred through their team now. Tristana needs that extra armor pen. Looks like Bjorddd is gonna roam down here, looking for a possible play. Gimmicks here as well. They show up, however, it looks like nothing is there, so they're going to go back to their respective solo lanes, kind of go and stop this Baron push. Look, at this point, Texas White, they're just trying to spend this Baron time farming up Schliden's camps and trying to get as much gold as they can, giving it all to the Wukong. While Tarleton's trying to look for a pick constantly. They're just moving around the map, trying to see if they can poke around and find anything. However, not trying to force it too hard to not give up their current situation. Where Morgana's just kind of sitting in this bush. Texas White not fully aware of it. However, Darius does sniff something. Ooh, Morgana Q comes out into a perma CC combo. Darius not able to move at all. Valve flashing in, getting a 4-man ultimate, forcing them to back out. Ooh, looks like Bjorddd does eat a lot of that Misfortune ult, but it doesn't matter as he knocks them up enough. Labubu getting all the resets he needs to just keep jumping around. Gets 4 different dashes. That's exactly what I'm talking about. One good team fight. They wipe him. 5-0, get an ace. And the first dragon of the game for them there. While this whole time Texas White had the Baron buff, so the fact they're able to 5-0 them there is really massive, as they now can just take that lead and now possibly look for another tier 2. Yeah, we saw there that Renata ult didn't do much as Morgana had her black shield, and it looks like they're able to dodge and respect the Misfortune ult this time. Bjorddd got ate up a little by it, but he was able to live and get enough knockups to secure kills for his team. Overall, very good play. Definitely swinging back the gold in their favor. We've seen that happen so many times this game. Very close. As all it's coming down to are these team fights. It looks like Darius is trying to go for Bjorddd here. However, Schliden is here to back him up. However, Schliden is going to be left behind. Bjorddd is going to have to leave him. They did commit the Rise ultimate. However, a fairly low cooldown, so probably won't matter too much. But yeah, Darius forced to use all of his summoners. That will definitely be helpful in the next fight. As we can see, yeah, Labubu now has LDR and Collector, has 100% crit. Normally at that point of the game, it's... Ooh, yeah, he can just fly, he can just W in and go for them. As he W's again, going for the Wukong. He is not afraid anymore. Oh, Labubu ends up actually killing Bjorddd. It looks like he probably should have cared as he went too deep, and he ended up dying. After that Darius kill, they thought they can get a little bit more. However, they just didn't have the Morgana Black Shield to defend him like they have had in the previous fights. However, death timers are not long enough at this point where they should not be able to get the tower. Looks like Schliden goes in just to ult the minion wave. And it does kill the minions. However, it does not prevent them from getting this tower. Whoa, okay. Well, Schlitten actually outplayed them and got a kill on the Wukong. Definitely meant to do that. Schlitten trading 1 for 1 there. However, Texas White does get the tower that they sacrificed so much for. Tarleton's gonna keep, as they respawn here, they're just gonna push back out their waves and see what they can do to set up this next Baron or Dragon. But right here, Misfortune should be getting her Infinity Edge. However, she won't have that 100% crit yet, so Labubu definitely is going to have the advantage in the next team fight they have. Right now, looks like everyone's just trying to finish up some important items. And we see Morgana almost has her Zonias. That's going to be really important in these team fights. Bjorddd just finished up his 100% crit item, since Yon gets double crit with his passive. Tarleton is definitely in a really strong position with their items at the moment. But at the same time, Texas White, Misfortune just finished her Infinity Edge. She's definitely waiting for that. Rise is very strong with his 3-item build. And then, as we've been seeing, this Wukong has been a threat all game. However, it looks like Darius, since he went that tankier route, he just isn't really performing as he should, as he's just kind of falling behind a little bit. You see Labubu now having the level 14 Tristana passive. He's able to attack from way further away. That's only going to increase as he levels up. At this point, he's just trying to stack up those levels, and he has the items now. Now he just needs the XP to be able to have the good enough base stats to match up. The gimmick does have his level 16 Victor ultimate. And level 16 is the final time you can level up your ultimate, and Victor's ult scales very well. If they can just get these resets and kills like we saw before, Tristana gets her jump and Victor ult gets bigger and bigger. They'll just be able to help Tarleton out a lot in these team fights. I think what they really need here is just to be able to 5v5. That'll be really beneficial for them. However, if Texas White is somehow able to get a pick or catch them out, that's going to be really rough for Tarleton to handle, because they kind of need their 5-man. As it's very strong together, but kind of weak apart. So that's why we're going to see Victor going ahead and commit the TP down here. Looks like Darius TP'd as well. Looks like Tristana got DC'd, possibly. It looks like they're back. Okay. Yeah, just a quick little pause. Looked like Labubu got disconnected for just a second and then rejoined. Must have just been a Wi-Fi issue. I mean, we do have that Texas storm going on right now. That could be the cause of it. Darius commits his ghost. However, it looks like it was a little bit premature as he gets poked out and forced to leave. Bjorddd hitting the dragon. They're all kind of looking to go for this fight here. Oh, Wukong does get the smite. And it looks like that's going to allow Misfortune to be able to land a devastating ultimate. Everyone's trying to back out here. However, Misfortune now gets the quadra kill, gets the pentakill. Wow, just a crazy fight for Texas White right there. The death timers are very long now, and since the inhib tower is down, they might be able to look to end here. Tarleton played such a great game throughout almost the entirety of it. However, they just mess up on this one team fight, and that's enough for Texas White to win here, as Misfortune Passage is able to go back and forth and knock out these towers. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be the end of Game 2. It'll be the end of the series. Yeah, this is the first game of the season, already looking a lot better than last year. Really good positioning and teamwork, as we can see there, like able to come back from multiple goal deficits. It will show a lot of promising feats that Tarleton can accomplish, so hopefully we'll be able to see more, especially as the NECC season starts to start up, and we'll be able to see what they can do this year. But thanks for watching. This is PowPow, and I hope you guys have a good weekend and stay warm.